everyone!
Hello, hello!
Welcome to another episode of Misadventures Abroad. This is my friend John.
I'm John.
And he's here because we are going to be talking about some special stories that involve him, mostly, and me. But you know, these are our travels when we go together.
Yes, this
So,
is us.
This episode, episode 4, is going to be called Problems, Parasites, and a Missing Shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so, John, where were we when this lovely incident that we just titled?
So, I think this was
Venice, right?
This was Venice.
Yeah.
So,
backstory.
Yeah.
This is back in 2012.
Yes.
Where we went on our first Euro trip abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And we had just taken...
The train from Prague?
Yeah, a really bad overnight train from Prague.
Yes.
We had to take a train from Prague to Vienna, and then we were in Vienna for a little bit, and then the overnight was from Vienna to Venice.
Right, in a non-sleeping car, which I don't suggest.
Yeah, no.
If you're doing overnights, please shell out the cash for a sleeper car. But yes.
So we got to Venice.
We did, and I think Venice started off really good, actually, because I remember, other than having trouble finding the hostel.
Yeah, it was on Guidica. I believe that's how you pronounce the little island on the other side of the canal.
Pardon mispronunciations.
I think it's Guidica, but the hostel was on that island.
Right. So we had gotten there, and the first couple walk around the islands that we did was really great. But there was a point when I would say not the first day, but maybe the second or third, that we were on the other side, and I remember we were at this plastic art installation with a bunch of water bottles, and we were just hanging out, and then I started scratching, and I was I'm starting to feel itchy, so I do you
see where this story is going?
So I mention it to Tiff, but I don't think about it too much because it's just okay, I'm just itching, you know? And then the day progresses and it gets worse and it's everywhere. And, you know, as we get back to the hostel, I'm okay, I kind of need to figure out what's happening. Point of the story, there are many ways that you can
get a parasite.
Please just double check sheets before you sit on them, because what ended up happening was I caught something from the sheets that the hostel, well, it was more the covers because they changed the sheets, but so anyway. Should
we just tell them what you caught?
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
It is. I got crabs. Got crabs from a bed sheet. From a hostel.
So not a bed bug incident, but
no, not at all.
Similar, completely 100% similar, because lice is basically a blood-sucking parasite lives in your hair, and my friend here is a very hairy dude. So, and it's really funny because I remember us checking into that hostel, and normally I take the top bunk.
Yes.
Because I'm lighter. And that day, he was just no, I'll take it because the bunk bed looks sturdy enough.
Right.
And I had been on the top bunk everywhere else we've been.
And climbing ladders just to go to sleep is very taxing.
So he took the top bunk, and that was where the bugs were.
So after discovering what had happened, and I was telling Tiff everything, and I'm there's no other situations that I've been in for me to catch that, so it had to have been the bed sheets.
And it was everywhere. You're full body lice.
It wasn't just where they normally concentrate themselves.
Everywhere.
We went there, we talked to the people in charge. We later found out that they change the sheets daily, which is great. However,
it was the blanket that's on the bed. So I don't know if you've ever been in hostel situations. They give you sheets.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll give you sheets upon check-in.
Yep.
And the beds won't have sheets on them, and then you do it. Or they change the sheets before you check in.
Right.
But the blankets rarely ever get changed or washed. So it was the blanket that was there. And I don't think did I use the blanket that...
You might have not, because we...
I know I would always bring a blanket after that incident. But yeah, that is what happened. And not to bash, I think the hostel is called something different now. I don't know what the name is. Currently, I think it got like renovated or whatever. But when we were there, the boiler busted or something like that. Something happened with the boiler, so we didn't even have hot water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was funny. That was after we told them what happened, and then they switched our room, and then all the, like, it just kind of, like, spiraled down, because not only that, but, like, there was something with the lunches, or, like, the free food that they were trying to give us that was, like, only for a certain amount or for a certain period. Either way, I think
it was a hot mess.
To end it, and for people who are traveling, don't, because one of the things that she had said, or whoever was in charge, was some of the people take the blankets to sit outside. Don't do that. People sleep on that. That's gross.
Yeah.
Please don't.
And if you do, put it in the, laundry bin.
Yeah, don't give craps to people. Don't.
So yeah, other than that little mishap, Venice was quite beautiful, right?
It was.
I really liked Venice. It's very photogenic.
Yes.
Very photogenic city.
I think you mentioned this, it's a very romantic city. There's like a lot of places where you're wandering and you get lost, and there's this whole like Euro romantic part of it where it just feels like something out of a music. It's very picturesque. I'm elaborating on the same thing you're saying.
Very pastel-y because all of the different foundations and the colors of the buildings and stuff like that. It's very pretty.
We took a gondola ride. You kind of have to when you're there. And that was actually really, really nice. And yeah, other than that, like it started this whole thing with me and boats. Cause wait, was Amsterdam was after?
I think Amsterdam started your whole thing with the boats.
We went to Amsterdam
that was before.
First. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it just strengthened this
living
passion.
on the water.
Yeah, I kind of want to live in the water. I think the last part of Venice, I don't know if I'm jumping around, but I also lost my shoe. No, yes.
Oh yes, the missing shoe part.
Yes.
So, what happened was, okay, I remember what happened. After we told, the hostel staff, whatever, they reimbursed us a night, and then they switched our rooms to like a private room. We stripped the bed, and we packed all of our stuff, and we had, I think, one more night. So we had one more night in like the private room that they gave us.
Yes.
And then we quickly decided to go straight to Rome.
Right.
Instead of going to Florence. So skipping Florence and going straight to Rome because the hostel that we were staying there had laundry.
Yes.
And so I remember we went out and bought like garbage bags to put all of our stuff in. I did too because we were sharing a bunk and like our stuff was in the same place. So I was just like, you know what? Just to be on the safe side, I'll just put all my stuff. You treat it like lice. I mean, you treat it like bed bugs.
Yes.
They're the same. So we suffocated them, hopefully, in the garbage bags until we got to laundry where we could do the laundry and everything.
I ended up buying a shampoo while I was there, but in the midst of like getting from one place to another,
he misplaced a shoe.
Yes. Which brings up another very important travel tip. Always have a laundry list when you're packing.
That or tie your shoelaces together.
That's very true. And it happens to everyone when you're packing. Things get forgotten. But the thing is if you're traveling, you can't always go back to where you came from. And even if you try to reach out, some places might not have. If you're going international, you're like, that's a lot of calls. I wasn't going to do all that work for a shoe. I tried. I think I gave them a call, and I was like, hey, maybe. But by then, it was like halfway through the trip. I was fine with missing a shoe, but try not to lose your shoes, guys.
So that is our little Venice story.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this little video. Yeah. And John here, we have more stories coming up too, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see you in the next video.
Deuces.
Bye. Look, this is our friend here, Joey. I don't know if you can see Joey, but he wants to chill with us.
He's the reason why I've been petting things on the bed.
So if you hear weird noises, it's the dog.